What's good, Sunshine Family? I hope all is well. I am excited because today is the very first podcast that I'm doing pre-recorded. So when I'm filming this, it's almost Mother's Day. So all of you that are mothers, all of you that know mothers and that have a mother, happy Mother's Day to all of you. So today, I'm actually at BRP Institute at Soul Studios, which is the home of where Dr. Stephanie Jupiter offers business coaching, life coaching, and self-love fitness center is also here, among other services. So just reach out to Dr. Stephanie Jupiter and get more information. If you need additional information, just give me a call and I will send it out to you. Okay, so today we are discussing healing in unconventional ways. Now, one thing about healing is we often like to call healings miracles. And yeah, they are pretty miraculous. But one thing I want us to realize is that even though it looks like this miracle, the problem with calling it a miracle is it seems unobtainable to many. So if you hear that somebody had a miracle and you're like, wow, they're so lucky, they're so fortunate, they're so blessed, not realizing you can obtain that same miracle. There are things that we all can do to obtain these miracles, and our bodies are made for that. God created these bodies that are self-healing. Our mind, our spirit, all contribute to our healing. And I want to share a video that I found of a woman who can share her experience of a miraculous healing. And this one is pretty interesting because it's one that is like, okay, what? So here we go. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen. And I have it speeded up a little bit. It's about 8 minutes, but I think that when I sped it up, it should be less. So here we go.
I'm here to share my story of transformation that, according to the doctors, wasn't supposed to happen. I had a fall in 2017, and a year later I had back surgery. That was supposed to resolve my pain and neurological damage. And initially, in the weeks after the surgery, everything looked fine. And then 2 months later, I woke up and it felt as if I never had surgery. It turned out that the hardware, they fused L3, 4, and 5, and it pulled on L2 and caused it to herniate and bulge. And I was told that it was inoperable. And so I went through years up until COVID of getting epidurals every 3 months. But when COVID happened, it was deemed non-essential surgery. And I was left relying on pain medication. I was taking like 5 heavy pain medications just to function every day. As a result, my life completely fell apart. I developed anxiety and depression. The whole episode triggered post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms that can be linked to my childhood trauma. And so this just coupled on top of it the sense of helplessness. I suffered from severe asthma, anaphylaxis. I had become so sensitive, my body was so traumatized by the accident that I was pretty much housebound and gluten intolerant, dairy intolerant, at the emergency room like every other month because of severe asthma attacks, sleep apnea. It was just unbelievable. I was familiar with Dr. Joe's work, but I wasn't a believer. And last April, a client attended the Austin retreat, and he came to see me 2 weeks after he returned, and he told me about his experience. And he said, I have to take you there. There's an event in Denver in July, and I was in shock because I knew it would cost a lot, and I just was not in a position. My business had gone from being lucrative to me just working with 4 clients a month and living on Social Security. So it was really hard for me to say yes initially, and And he just said, "What is all of your work about if you can't receive a gift from me?" As I heard the stories of the people who were healed, my heart and my mind felt like maybe there's a possibility that something could happen for me. So I came in July with two intentions. The least was that I wanted to receive an attitudinal healing that would allow me to accept that I would be living with chronic pain and relying on medication for the rest of my life. And the second is that I wanted to have a half-inch return to the left side of my body. As a result of time with the surgery, my spine, where they fused my spine, it moved over to the left. And so my spine was like this, and then the tip of L4 was touching my cervical bone. And so I had developed a curved spine. Unbeknownst to me, I did apply to be a Healy, but I didn't receive any confirmation until I registered, and I was pulled into a room by Luce. I will never forget her name. I was blown away, and the first indication that I felt that something different was happening was when she said to me that I was worthy of this. And I realized that I held a charge against myself for this injury, for the profession that I'm in. So I just surrendered. The meditations were so powerful that by that Thursday, I recognized, as did my friends, that I was in an altered state. When I was led into the room for the healing, I immediately felt like the energy of the room. It was different. It was full. And I guess I can say it was full of love. And I surrendered to that. I lay down on my mat and I did what I did. I called in my ancestors. I heard this beautiful sacred music. I felt like I was in a cathedral. The amount of love that I felt pouring into me was beyond measure. And again, it wasn't just love from the people around me and my friend that gifted me this retreat, but it was the room carried a frequency of vibration that allowed me to just disappear into that field. There was a lot of phenomena that came up that I experienced during the healing, but I had an awareness that it was almost time for the healing to end. It was just a sense that I had. And right after I had that thought, I heard this crunching sound as if there was an aluminum can that had been smashed and someone was like trying to pull it apart. There was this and then the next sensation I felt was, and heard was this, and I felt my leg extend. It was incredible. It's like I was healed right then. I knew I was healed, that the most that I had hoped for, I received. That evening, for the first time in 8 years, my body did not want any medication. I did not take any opioids, and I did not have any night sweats. I had no symptoms, withdrawal symptoms. And it was so profound that next morning I called my doctor's office and I canceled an epidural that was scheduled for September. I've not had an asthma attack since July. I can eat bread now. I can have cheese. I have my life back.
Pretty amazing. That story, the reason I shared that story in particular is because it's something that you wouldn't believe. Somebody's bone crunching and straightening out a spine. That seems to be the most unlikely thing to happen. You know, we've heard miracles of people being cured of cancer or illnesses and things like that, but for a bone to straighten out. Now, I actually attended one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreats, and it is pretty phenomenal. It is amazing. There were miracles that happened when I was there as well. So some of the stories that people have been there before and they've shared with us was pretty amazing. And just ordinary people, just regular people, not anybody that's like overly spiritual or, holistic, or just regular people. So it can happen to anyone. And I want you to go into this with an open mind, realizing, okay, this could happen to you as well. Okay, what she mentioned, that can happen to you as well. And we're going to go over some things that I think are really important for our healing. Let's see. So I have a PowerPoint that I would like to share, if I could find it. So like I said, just have an open mind and know that this is something that is doable. Let's see. Oh, here we go. You guys, I have so much stuff open on here always. So let me find it. I just had it. Here it is. Okay. So let's see. I need to come out of this one. All right, here we go. Okay, so, all right, so healing is your birthright. What your body, your mind, and your God already know. Okay, so if you didn't get it from the title, you have God within you. And God knows how you're to be healed. Your healing may look different than mine. If I am led to do holistic, to do raw, which that is my desire, to do 80% raw and then 20% cooked, mainly plant-based. That is my desire, and that's what I'm headed towards. But for someone else, it may look different. So I've heard different people that have said that when they tried to go plant-based, they got sick. And it's usually somebody that's O positive. But everybody's body is different. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. Like how to find out what is good for you as opposed to somebody else. All right. So now I share this information because I am on the same path as you all. I'm not your doctor, and what I need for you to do is take everything that you hear on here today to your own physician, and especially to your own God and the God within you. So keep that in mind. This conversation is about opening a door, not prescribing a path. Everybody's body is different. You know, I say this all the time. Every healing journey is different. We will look at research, real stories, and ancient wisdom together during this podcast. And what you do with this information is between you and your creator. Okay? So what you hear me say today, what I need you to do with that is to put it in your mind and think about, okay, all the other things that you've heard, what resonates with you the most? It may be some of this, it may be all of it, it may be none of it. But whatever resonates with you the most is what you should gravitate toward. And we'll discuss that even more. Okay, so there are radical remissions, real people, real healings. So there were over 1,500, these are documented healing case studies, okay? Over 1,500, and this was done by this person, Dr. Kelly Turner from Harvard. These were her studies. And when she did the study, she found 9 key healing factors in nearly every story. So out of all the healings, there were over 75 different factors that were identified. And some were like, some people changed their diet, some people were taking control of their own health some type of way. Some people were following their intuition, just different types of things. So it could have been just anything that somebody was healed from. just, there was one person that I had heard about, not necessarily from her study, but there was a guy that was, I think he had cancer or something. And he went home and he put on a bunch of comedies, and he just laughed and laughed and laughed. And next thing you know, he laughed himself into healing. So these are one of the stories out of several that have just like, a type of healing that's what? And then, of course, we've heard of people being laid hands on. And if you look at the situations where people were laid hands on, look at their belief system. Did that person really believe, the person that they were laying hands on, that they were actually a healer? And I'm sure in most or maybe all of those cases, you'll find out that that person's belief system is what actually healed them. Okay, so now the 9 key healing factors that Dr. Kelly Turner came up with were, now this is what she found in all of the cases. Every single one had these 9 key factors. So one is radically changing your diet, taking control of your health, following your intuition, releasing suppressed emotions, deepening your spiritual connection, embracing social support, using herbs and supplements, increasing positive emotions, and having strong reasons for living. So that's what she found in every single healing in the study that she did. All right, here's some real stories about radical remissions. Chris Carr had stage 4 incurable cancer in 2003. He shifted into a plant-based diet, juicing, yoga, and meditation, still thriving 20 plus years later. Founded a wellness movement and is currently inspiring millions. You may not control the outcome, but you can control your outlook. Okay, I've heard stories also about people whose cancer has been cured for whatever reason. And I mean, it's not unobtainable to you who's listening. It's not. One thing you may want to tackle first is your belief system. And that's why I say in the very beginning, have an open mind and believe that these are possible for you as well. You don't have to be anybody special or anything like that, but your belief system is powerful. And if you go back and remember some of the scriptures out of the Bible, every time Jesus healed somebody, he would say, as you believe, so it is. Community voices. So these are voices that are shared in the Sunshine family. We've heard different people that have been healed. Real people in our Houston community chose faith, food, movement, and community as their medicine. Their stories belong to them, and they are real. The body God designed knows how to heal when we give it what it needs. These bodies that we have are amazing, to say the least. They are amazing, and it can do all types of things. The research confirms it. Medscape Medical News plus NIH. Over 3,500 medically reported cases of spontaneous remission exist in scientific literature across 800 journals in 20 languages. These patients represent a special scientific control group. So these are medically reported, but can you imagine the healings that we don't even hear about on a regular basis? Go figure. Okay, let's talk about your body's built-in defense system. Now, we've talked about this several times on the call, and the lymphatic system is extremely important and not mentioned enough. So the lymphatic system is considered your sewage and security all in one. Now, the thing about your lymphatic system, it does not have a pump. Like your heart pumps your blood throughout the body. The lymphatic system does not have a pump. It will just sit there until you decide to do something. It needs you. Unlike your heart, the lymphatic system moves only when we do walking, dancing, deep breathing. So, and also different things like, you're eating, you're drinking, and things like that also help to pump your lymphatic system. It captures abnormal cells. So what the lymphatic system does is we have these lymph nodes, and the purpose of them is to go around and trap erratic cells. So cells that are just going around, going crazy, and eventually turn into cancer or different things. It takes these things along with toxins. This is your immune system surveillance system. So this is your immune surveillance system. So what it does is it traps these things in your immune system. In your lymphatic system. It just holds it there, and it's waiting for us to pump it out. And that's when we start doing deep breathing, we start doing exercise, and now the lymphatic system is pumping that stuff out. There's this book called Fit for Life. I talk about it all the time by Harvey Diamond. And when I read this book, it removed the fear about what the body does as far as healing, like lumps, rashes, mild fever, anything that what's going on in my body. This book just eliminated any kind of fears that I had. So I would strongly suggest that you get a hold of the book, Fit for Life by Harvey Diamond, and you'll be amazed by the things that he's saying in the book. And it's an easy read. So I would strongly recommend that you get it. And they also have the audio books. I'm not one to necessarily read books anymore since I had kids, but I listen to audiobooks while I'm doing things, cleaning or doing things around the house, whatever. These audiobooks, you can listen to them in the car. So, what supports the lymphatic flow? Daily movement, even a 20-minute walk. Rebounding, that's when you're jumping on one of those little, looks like a little trampoline, it's a little round one. Deep belly breathing. Now, the difference between the breathing, when you breathe in, put your hand on your heart and put on your chest and put your hand on your stomach. And when you breathe in, feel what moves. If it's just your chest moving, then you're breathing through your chest and you're not breathing through your belly. Keep trying, keep practicing. Even if you lie down on a bed and breathe in, do the same thing, and try breathing in through your belly, then you'll notice a difference. It's more of a relaxing breathing. When we breathe through our lungs, if you notice, if you try it right now, it's more of a anxiety type of breathing, because whenever we get anxious, when people are hyperventilating, it's a quick breath through the chest, through the lungs. However, when you're in a relaxed state, it comes to the belly. Now, what happens here is it tells your brain fight or flight. If you're breathing through your lungs quickly like that, it's a fight or flight. Okay, she's in trouble, he's in trouble. Let's get something moving. But when we breathe through the belly, it's telling the brain that it's time to relax. So just keep that in mind. There are plenty of videos online about the proper way to breathe. And if you notice babies, they breathe through their belly. It's just when we get older, we start adapting to the ways of society. Drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water. We've talked about infused water. We've talked about like coconut water and different things like that provide more minerals also than just plain water. But spring water is good as well. It works fine. Coconut water works better, and infused water. If you don't like to drink water, You can infuse it with different fruits to make it have a flavor. Dry brushing toward the heart. If you have a brush, brush it towards your heart. So you get the brush and you're just brushing everything towards your heart. Plant-based anti-inflammatory eating is extremely important as well. Herbal teas, there's cleavers, red clover and echinacea, and plenty of other teas that you can drink as well to help with the the lymphatic system. Also, which is not mentioned here, is tapping. When you tap certain areas of your body, it also helps the lymphatic system to flow. Again, plenty of videos of that online. What lives in the body that shouldn't? Okay, so now we're talking about something that has nothing to do with what you ingest or what you're doing physically. The bitterness you're holding, the grief you never cried out, the anger you swallowed for years, your body is carrying that. And healing sometimes requires you to put it down. So even if you're eating everything properly, if you're working out, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, you can still develop some type of ailment because of what you're holding within. If you're holding some negativity within your heart, unforgiveness, all of these things will affect your body and can make you sick. Chronic anger. Suppressed anger keeps cortisol and adrenaline elevated. The immune system stays on alarm and cannot repair the body. So, cortisol. When a dog is chasing you, your cortisol gets to flowing to get your energy going so you could fight or flight, so you can get to moving because it's necessary. So cortisol is necessary, but imagine being in that state day after day after day. Now, a lot of us are in that state day after day, but it's not as intense as if a dog is coming after you. It could be more subtle, like your bills are coming after you, your creditor is coming after you, or, just anything. You're upset with a neighbor or a family member, or you have unforgiveness that you're holding on to. All of these things are coming with that. It's causing the cortisol to continue to create it's a problem, fight or flight. And being in that state at all times causes the body to start breaking down. Even though it's constantly working on our behalf, it starts wearing it out. Chronic stress. When stress hormones never turn off, the immune system cannot identify and destroy abnormal cells the way it is designed to. So like I said, our body is trained to, it just automatically knows to pull the abnormal cells into the lymphatic system. But when we're not doing what we're supposed to do, when we're thinking all these negative things and we're stressed out all the time, the body it starts wearing the body out. Unresolved grief. Grief held in the body has been linked to immune suppression. The body holds what the mind refuses to feel. If you have grief that you have not resolved in some way or another, it causes the body to also have issues. But the good news is, we're all about sharing the good news. Releasing suppressed emotion through prayer, therapy, journaling, or community is one of the 9 key radical remission factors. So, having these things going on in your life, there is a way to combat that. All right, now let's go within. Your answer is already there. So when we go within, God is there and God provides the answer. The answer is already there. So before you Google, before you ask 5 people what they think, and and we know how that turns out, because what they are telling you is what worked for them. oh yeah, you should do this or that. But in actuality, you should probably do something different. So going to these 5 different people to ask their opinion on what you're going through may not always be the best decision. Going within, unless you have voices inside that are telling you all these negative things, then maybe you should go outside and talk to other people. But if you have like a normal thinking or just regular thinking and positive thinking, you're able to think positively, you know how to connect, then go within. Get quiet, ask, and then listen. Not the fear, not the diagnosis. So when we hear, oh, you have a certain amount of time to live, or you've got a chronic illness that you have to do this or that you really don't want to do, it creates a fear within us. So try to put that aside, knowing that your healing is within. The still small voice that knew you before you were formed. This still small voice knows how to heal you. Okay, so we're going to go over 5 different ways to connect with that. Stillness is one. 10 to 15 minutes of silence daily. No phone, just you and the one who made you. Journaling. Write the question, then write without editing and let it flow. So what that looks like is you ask the question, you sit quietly, meditate for a minute, just connect with God within you. And that could be through prayer, where you just kind of ask, okay, God, help me, please. It could be just as simple as that. And then you write your question, and then just whatever comes to your mind, you just write it down. Just write it down and see what comes out. Prayer or meditation. Speak your truth aloud. Be still enough to receive. So it's easy to pray and meditate, but are you willing to receive? So when you pray and meditate, sit quietly for a minute and allow the answer to come. Sometimes the answer may come through somebody else. It may come through a song that comes on. It may come through a video that somebody sends you. That actually happened to me today. I had a question, and my brother just so happened to send me this video. When I listened to it, my answer was there. And that happens. That happens to all of us. Sometimes we may not realize what's going on. Follow the peace. Whichever direction brings true peace, not just comfort, is the right one. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Has there been a decision that you were supposed to make or something you were supposed to do, and you had 2 or 3 choices? One was the logical thing that everybody said, oh yeah, that's what you need to do. One may have been, okay, this is the easy route. Yeah, if I do this, it'll be simple. And one may have been, well, if I go this route, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel better, just the thought of it. Then that's probably the route you need to go. Even though it may not be logical to others. If you feel peace, then that might be the right one for you. Community confirmation. God often confirms through trusted voices walking in the same direction. Somebody may say something to you that answers your question, and you probably never even thought that person could answer your question. It could be somebody, it could be as simple as a child. But just know that if you have a question or if you have something going on with you and somebody says something and it just feels right, and that's your answer. That's your answer. All right, plant power and practical steps. 5 things that you can start today. All right, one thing that you can do is to cut processed sugar. Cancer cells feed on glucose. Eliminating refined sugar is the most immediate dietary change you can make. So I'm sure you all have heard of parasites. We talk about it on the podcast all the time. So I don't know if you've seen these videos recently where they show a picture of this foul-looking parasite, but those little boogers love sugar. They love the glucose. So if you find yourself in a store and you're like, oh, I need to get me some donuts. Oh, I need to get me some sweets. I need some sweets. Or if you're sitting yourself at home, if you're at home and you think, oh, I want some sweets. Oh, I want some candy, or whatever the case may be. That is not necessarily you. That could be your little parasites inside of you wanting to be fed. It's like a little baby in there, like, oh, mama, feed me, feed me. And we just go and we continue to feed. Okay, baby, so that you can continue to grow and tear up my body. That's pretty much what's going on. Add leafy greens daily. Chlorophyll oxygenates blood. So chlorophyll, like the plants, we know that the sun causes the plants to turn green. So that is what oxygenates our blood. Spinach, kale, moringa, collards, aim for dark greens at every meal. And also, there's this chlorophyll powder that you can also get. You mix a teaspoon with about 8 ounces of water each morning. It oxygenates the blood, supports the detox, alkalinizes the body. Choose food grade liquid or powder, no fillers. Okay, so make sure you get it from a reputable place. And when you look on the back, make sure that there are no added ingredients or anything in it. I've started using that. And if you don't like the greens, which try to get yourself to start liking these kind of things. But if you don't, or if you have a child or something that doesn't eat the greens, try the chlorophyll. Check with your doctor first, but try that. Look into researching the chlorophyll. Drink more water, half your body weight in ounces daily. Water moves the lymphatic system and flushes toxins. And we discuss that. We talk about that a lot. Half of your body weight in liquid, in water. Drink that, or eat coconut water, things like that. Move every single day. Even 20 to 30 minutes pumps your lymphatic system. You are literally moving healing through your body. Now, one thing that I had also discovered recently, which is a shame I didn't know, but when we exercise, it helps to absorb the glucose. It absorbs the sugar in your body without the insulin. So the pancreas doesn't even need to be bothered with the exercising. If you exercise, let's say you eat, and then you go exercise, your muscles help to absorb that glucose. Go figure. So if you eat some food and you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic, go for a walk. 20 to 30 minutes every time. Or just, if you can't walk, just move. Move your arms, kick your legs, just do something. Get your body moving. Pick up a water bottle and just lift it on both arms. Get that muscles going. But just sitting around the house all day, every day, saying, woe is me, oh, I'm in pain, or I'm this, I'm that, and I'm trying to say something. I don't want to be insensitive to people, but I want you to realize, if you're just sitting there at home and you're telling everybody about all of your ailments, all that does is it goes into your brain and it tells your brain, continue to give her ailments, continue to give him ailments, because that's on the brain. Ailments, more ailments, more ailments. Let's produce more. However, if you start telling people, you know what, I'm in the process of healing. I mean, if you can't say I'm healed, if it doesn't make sense to you, or if you don't believe it, then just say, I'm in the process of healing. My body is healing. and you will notice a difference in how your body starts reacting to you. So stop telling people about all of your ailments. I know people that seem to love to talk about all of the ailments that's going on in their body. Oh, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this, I have that. And I mean, honestly, seems proud of it. And sometimes that might be, there might be a reason behind that, like maybe to get people to empathize with them because they're not getting enough attention or whatever the case may be. But let's work on not complaining about our situation unless it's something that you've got to express to a doctor or somebody because you're not feeling well, just all of a sudden. But to go on and on about certain things, it just makes it worse. Address the emotional root. Find a counselor, a coach, a community, or a journal. Emotional healing is not optional. It is medicine. So when you join a community like ours or anyone else's, that is a way of also emotionally healing because you find out other people that have situations similar to yours. You may be going through something and you don't know how to deal with it, but you may come across somebody, especially if you are praying about that. Please send me somebody who can relate to what I'm going through. And just watch that person come into your life. Listen for that. Or, like I said, the video might come, or in the form of a child, or whatever the case may be. Your answer will come if you rely on it to come. You know that it's coming. It will come. Just be patient. Don't start saying, "Oh, forget it. That's not working." Don't do that. Don't do that. Never give up on your prayer. Don't give up on it. All right, your healing team. Let's talk about your team for a second. Holistic self-advocacy. All right, you are the CEO of your own health. Build your team intentionally. So we talked about this in the last podcast that we had, advocating for yourself. And we talked about specifically AI and how it's been supporting my health right now. And I want you to be in a position to where you're able to advocate for yourself at all times, but also have a team of others that can help support us. So, as I mentioned before, one thing I strongly recommend is that you get your lab work. Request a full panel, not just what your doctors order routinely. CBC, comprehensive metabolic panel, vitamin D, B12, thyroid, inflammation markers, CRP, homocysteine. Know your numbers, understand what they mean. As I mentioned before, we talked about AI, and once you get your lab work, you can ask AI, what do all of these things mean? What is this? You can even input your lab work into the computer and onto the AI. Now, I strongly recommend you get your personal information off of there and just send the facts and ask it, explain this as a fifth grader. Whenever I want explanations, I say as a fifth grader. You can say an older grade if you feel more confident with your knowledge, but I want to be explained to as a fifth grader. So when it's explained to me, it's explained like a fifth grader, because it'll say, oh, imagine your arteries like, a highway, and, so things like that. But I like it so. But it can also explain your numbers. So if you have a certain number on your B12, AI can explain, look, your number is like, I'm going to use me as an example. It was one in particular, I think it was the homocysteine or something, that was borderline. It was considered good. If I went to the doctor's office, they would say there was no problem with it. But according to AI, and I use Claude is constantly saying, okay, your homocysteine is right on the edge of one more notch and then it's bad. So let's work on that. So, and there are other things that were also like right on the edge, and it does not let me forget it. If I want to eat something and I ask, okay, I want to eat this, how about I eat some popcorn with, just different things on it? Yeah, you could eat this, but because your homocysteine is here, then you shouldn't have that. Because your kidneys are here, it's like borderline, you shouldn't have that because your kidneys need a rest from processing. So it is quite amazing. Even if I have a pain, and again, I talked about this before on the other podcast, but even if I have a pain in my foot, I'll ask, okay, so what do you think this is causing this pain? And it'll list. It could be because your kidney, it could be because of this, so again, I have a list of things that I can look into, and then I can ask, okay, so what should I do about these things? And it'll give some things. Now, I will also consult with someone else to see, okay, what do you think about this? This is what AI is saying. And usually, it's usually a herbalist or physician or something like that. I will consult and make sure that the advice that I'm getting is accurate. Consult with a naturopath or herbalist. Naturopathic doctors and certified herbalists look at the whole person: gut health, hormones, stress, nutrition. They ask why, not just what. Find one who collaborates with your MD. So that is extremely important. Extremely important, because you know my story, because I say it all the time, because I want to use my life as an example so that you can relate in some way or another. I have this H. pylori, and it has been wreaking havoc in my body, and I didn't know that it was causing issues with diabetes as well. So I was pre-diabetic. Now, because I had done some lab work with Nurse Joyce, who is not, she's like a nutritionist, and she is Dr. Joyce Franklin. Nurse Joyce Franklin, excuse me. So she is holistic. She is completely holistic. She's all about eating healthy, and she even has a cooking class, a prepping class. So I had gone to her, and she did an extensive lab work, and that's how I found out about the H. pylori. Well, when I went to the doctor, they didn't even tell me I was pre-diabetic, but I found out I was, and through Nurse Joyce, and it led to the H. pylori because I had done that lab work. Now I know, okay, the root cause is the H. pylori, and I found that out through AI. When AI had all my information in there, it was like, okay, the H. pylori is causing this, going down the list of the things that was on the issues that I had. And it was some other stuff. But anyway, consult with your physician. So I'm going to encourage everybody to look into obtaining a functional medicine doctor, because they're similar to the naturopath, whereas they look at the why and not the what. So they will find the root cause, and they will, begin healing from that. Bring your questions in writing. Ask about alternatives, side effects, and root causes, not just symptom management. A good doctor welcomes an informed patient. So if you have a doctor that is telling you or gets upset because of something that you found out and you're asking about, then you might want to consider going to a different doctor because they're not going on the same path that you want. So if they are totally medical and not informed about holistic, then you might want to find one that is both. My mother has one actually that whenever she goes to her, she'll prescribe medicine, but if my mother chooses, which she has chosen a route with Dr. Fisher and used this blood pressure medicine that is holistic, that doctor will actually tell her, well, good, you keep doing what you're doing. She's had another doctor in the past where her cholesterol was going down, and she was diagnosed with 10 grams of whatever medication they use for that. When they found out that she was doing well, they saw her numbers, she was getting better. For some reason, they increased her meds to 20 milligrams instead of the 10. I kid you not. To this day, I'm like, wow. But my sister, she was there. She's like, nah, we're not going to do that. So be informed. Community and accountability. Healing does not happen in isolation. Find a community like this one where you can learn, share, and be supported by people walking the same path. You were designed for connection. So, every now and then you might hear about a recluse that doesn't want to reach out for anybody, but, how is their health? But reach out to a community. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be any community, one that resonates with you, one that makes you feel good. Advocacy in action. Get the labs, ask the questions, consult the experts, then reinforce everything you learn with trusted research tools. All right, AI. So let's get on AI just a little bit. Because we already talked about it. AI as your personal research companion. And the reason I keep talking about this so much is because it has made phenomenal, drastic improvements in my life as far as my eating habits, what I'm eating, some of the things that I'm doing for my healing. It's not a replacement for your doctor, but it is a tool to help you show up as an informed advocate for yourself. And I agree with that 100%. What AI can do for you: explain lab results in plain language, paste your results and ask, what does this mean? What questions should I ask the doctor? What lifestyle factors affect this? Research any condition or symptom. You can ask about root causes, contributing factors, and holistic perspectives on any health concern. Then verify with your care team. And I want to share a little thing that I found out about, a story that I found out about this woman she had gone to several doctors for her son, and when she, nobody knew anything, no answers. She's spending all this money going to all these different doctors. Well, she put the condition in to AI, and boom, there came an answer. She shared that with the physician, and then they were able to heal the child. So just keep that in mind. Compare conventional and natural approaches. Ask AI to present both sides of the treatment decision so you can have an informed conversation with your physician or naturopath. And my situation with the H. pylori, I was trying 3 years ago. We found out 3 years ago I had that. And I was trying to go straight herbal, but in the process of trying to find something herbal, I kind of lost track, and life came in and I just forgot. Well, 3 years later, now it's like, okay, you need to get rid of this now. So I've decided to go antibiotic route, which I did not want to do. I put off, but to get rid of this right now is the route that I need to take. And that's something I prayed about. That's something I strongly contemplated. I went through AI to ask questions. I went to other people that are informed about holistic living. And the best route for my situation right now is that. 3 years before, I should have gone the straight holistic route. I would have gone the holistic route, but it's time to get it out. And also, as another thing, even taking those antibiotics, and that's my concern. I had to change my mindset about it because I have such a negative thing about antibiotics. I have to change my mindset and realize, okay, this is helping me. This is helping my body. And so at the same time, I'm receiving different things that can help my gut, help my good bacteria to continue to build my good bacteria. So that's something else. So after all of this is done, I'm going to work on putting everything back in. So I'm good to go. Prepare questions before your doctor visits. Tell AI your diagnosis and upcoming appointment. It will help you to draft the key questions to bring in writing. Important boundaries. Now, these, keep in mind, AI cannot diagnose you. It cannot prescribe treatment, cannot replace a licensed physician. It cannot order or interpret your labs officially, and it cannot guarantee accuracy. Always verify. AI works best as a starting point for informed conversations with your care team. So, although my AI has been doing wonders for me, there are times when I have to check it. It's like, okay, dude, okay, I don't get this. This doesn't make sense. And it may backtrack, like, oh yeah, my bad. Basically, it doesn't say my bad, but it basically says, okay, yeah, you're right. I should have caught that. So that's why I say always take the information and share it with your healthcare team. So I use these tools and provide so I use these tools. I use it, all the time. And I also provide a one-on-one session. So if you want to learn how to put AI in your computer and set it up to where it works for you like it's working for me, then you can scan this QR code right here where this arrow is pointing and schedule an appointment with me, and I'll be happy to help you with it. If you don't want to schedule an appointment, you can ask AI to show you how to set it up. You can ask AI, okay, can you show me how to set up, I want a research companion, a personal research companion to help me with what I'm doing. And like I said, go back to the old video and you could see exactly how to do that. But if you don't want to do that, or if you want me to walk you through it, just scan the QR code and schedule an appointment. All right, so you do not have to walk this alone. Sunshine, we all know Sunshine. Sunshine spent 30 years planting seeds into Houston and other places as well. So we are continuing his legacy with everything we have. So I will never compare myself to Sunshine because the knowledge that he had was amazing. He could talk to anybody and help anybody. The information I get are from naturopath doctors, herbalists, different calls that we've had, podcasts that we've had, information that I have received. I do research and that type of thing. And what I find to be helpful, I will push that out here for you guys to experience it as well. So come be in the community with us. So here are some of the things that we offer. We have Soulstream Saturday, which you're watching right now. And that's every Saturday, 9:30 to about 11 to 11:30. Absolutely free, and that's CST time. Empowered by Plants. This is a program that we have right now that's a 6-week holistic reset. And we keep the enrollment small simply because we'd like to have a smaller group. But that is something that is offered. We also have other programs that you can purchase on Etsy. We have Wellness Warriors Workout, which is a lot of fun, on Mondays through Fridays, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And yes, I did say 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. At first, when I started doing this, I'm like, oh my goodness, why did I start? Why did I start doing this so early in the morning? But after, let's see, we're about 4.5 months in, and this was one of the best things that I could have ever done for myself. You know, other people on the workout, they talk about the things that help them as well. But I know for me, it has done amazing things in my life. My balance is so much better. I'm not as tired as I was in the past. And I'm quite sure this has helped me with my situation to not get worse than what it could have been if I wasn't working out and if I wasn't doing other things. Educational health events. You can meet holistic professionals and like-minded communities. We have we have events that come up like every other month or so. And, you know, join the events. I mean, come out and meet these health professionals, meet other people that are like-minded, and get to know people. And that's what Sunshine and Wellness is all about, is creating this sunshine family so that you can have somebody. If you are trying to eat healthy and you have family members that aren't, it can be very difficult. If you don't have a support system that's helping you with your journey, you're struggling trying to get through something, and they know it, and they're saying, oh, you can't eat this, you got this going on. That's no fun. That's not fun. So when you're a part of a community that is on the path that you need to be on, it becomes a lot easier to stay on that path. And I'm speaking that from experience. So I know when I used to listen to Sunshine's calls, when I would listen to it, I'm eating healthy. I'm on the right path. But when I stop listening, then I'm just doing all kinds of things. Maybe not right away, but eventually I'm just eating whatever. It's not on my mind. So it's good to keep something like this or other communities on your mind at all times. If you're like me, you don't want to stray away from it. You can find all of our information on Linktree. So that's linktr.ee/sunshine, letter N, wellness. Linktree, Sunshine in Wellness. And you'll see that right there at the bottom. So you can find out everything that we're doing. These podcasts that we do will be on the YouTube. There's a YouTube section. There's Instagram. There are also programs that we have that are going on right now that you'll see that all on one. So that's what we have going on. And that's it for this. So let me stop sharing. There we go. So I hope that you were able to get something out of what I just shared. And the thing that I hope that you got most out of this is realizing that the healing is within you. It's within your mindset. It's within what you do to your body, what you eat, what you're doing. Are you exercising? Are you just sitting around? Are you complaining all the time? What are you doing? Your healing is within you. And if those things are difficult to start because you're in that mindset, you've been in that mindset for quite a while, start small. I'm big about bite-sized pieces when doing something. Like they say, if you want to eat an elephant, you got to eat one piece at a time. And trust me, you'll be able to eat that whole elephant after maybe a few months. But you get it done. So if you are complaining all the time and you've got a lot of ailments going on, start off by your thinking. Start off by saying, you know what, I'm going to be healed from this. Or my healing starts today. You can just say that every day. My healing starts today. And soon you'll start believing that, and soon you'll start getting information that can help you to on your healing journey. All right, so let me, I just want to end off with some of the things we have going on. Depending on when you're listening to this, it may have expired, but if you're listening to this Saturday, which is, what is this, May 9th, should be May 9th. So if you're listening to this on May 9th, 2026, then we've got the Empowered by Plants, like I mentioned before. But within Empowered by Plants, we have we have 4 different professionals that work with us. And one is doing our garden talk, and it will be this Saturday at 6:30. I asked for a $5 donation for the lady that's doing it for us. And I put down on my notes that I asked for a $5 donation because she's doing this on her own time, and she's actually running for city council in Kendleton. So if you don't have it, just let me know, and you can, we'll get you on there, because a garden co-op is what I'm pushing for as well, and I just want you there. I just really want you to get that information. And the information that she's giving is about healing the body. It's, different herbs and different plants that heal the body. We have our Wednesday workouts with Baba. He's another person that's on the Empowered by Plants. And that is at usually around 7:30 on Wednesdays. A lot of fun. It's he has some good music on there, and it's energetic. You're gonna sweat, so be prepared to get some good cardio on. All right, and if you haven't been receiving anything from us, then reach out on our link tree, the link tree that I shared earlier. Reach out on that and become one of our free members, and you will be added, and you will start getting all of these things coming to you. All right, that is all I have for you today. Like I said, I really pray that you all take this, learn from it, and become a better you. And I want to express that although I would love for all of you to stay with me forever, I would love that. That is not what this is about. It is about you empowering yourself within. If that means that once you find out who you are within and you start learning things, and you need to move to another level, and you need to learn more things in a different avenue, then by all means follow what your heart is leading you to do. I would miss you. But you've got to follow your heart. You've got to follow what's within you, because that is your true guide. Everything that I'm doing may not work for you. Things that you see online by professionals, it may not work for your body. So do what's good for your future you. Find out what works for your own body. Well, that's all I've got for you. Peace and love, everybody. Like I said, this is in May, and I wish a happy Mother's Day to all of you. If your mother has passed on, if you don't have a mother in your life right now, then it's time to celebrate the mother that you did have, or celebrate mothers that are in your life, the mother of your children, or the mother of somebody else that you love. Just celebrate the mothers. So if you don't have any mothers with you, and you're alone, or you're missing your mom, try that quiet time. Try a little quiet time. You'll be surprised with some of the things that you may receive to help you to calm down. Okay, I'm not going to go on anymore because I always have a story, but I'll save that story for another time. In the meantime, peace and love, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Love yourself and love somebody else.